work on slide 2. Go up here, add a new slide. It's your choice. And then come up with a title. Now here for the titles, we don't want to just put the name of the ride. So I'm doing the time traveler, so I'm going to put talking about the time traveler. That's alliteration. Think about like a headline for a newspaper. You want to use something like an onomatopoeia, alliteration where it's letters repeating, a pun, a play on words, anything like that. For right now, if you are at a loss, you could just put the name of the ride. For when I did back in the day when I would do this, and my feature ride was Outlaw Run, my title was Outlaws Beware. So again, it's the name of the ride, but I don't just read that. And I never actually read the headline exactly. Okay, for this slide, I want to have a picture, and I also want to link it to the website where it talks about the time traveler. Now, not all parks have a site quite like Silver Dollar City, but if they do, we'll go ahead and use that. So first I found a picture of the time traveler that I want to use. I think I'm going to use this one here. Kind of shows the ride pretty well. So now for this one, I'm just going to 2-finger click and copy the image. Go to my Keynote, click right here on the picture, and Command V. Paste it. So I can still like edit that. I'm going to click on my text box here and just make it just a little bit bigger because I am going to be giving quite a bit of stats here. So my source for the ride picture is this. So I'm going to click on that and select it, Command C. Go to that last slide in my Keynote, the photo slide 2, and paste it. I'm also going to add where I'm going to get my information. I'm going to gather a majority of my information for these slides on the Silver Dollar City website. So I'm going to go ahead and just cite it there. And then if I have to use a different website for more information, I will. Okay, now I want to hyperlink the picture of the ride to the ride's website. So I'm going to go and select the ride's website and copy it, Command C. Go back to my Keynote, 2-finger click the picture, go to add link to a web page. Right here where it says link, I'm going to paste it, Command V. This blue circle indicates that the picture is hyperlinked. We're going to use a shape to tell the person where it's hyperlinked. Click on the shape, drag it where you want it, extend it out, and click text, then type. I typed click the link to go to the ride's website. Now over here, I want to list some information about the ride, and let's go here to what it says we're supposed to talk about. We're supposed to talk about the ride's features. Those are things like, does it go upside down? Do your feet dangle? Does it have a zero gravity roll? The speed, some rides do not give you a top speed, like Spinning Dragons at Worlds of Fun does not, because the speed's different each time. And then like Fury of the Nile doesn't give you a speed. So if it's not there, then just leave it off. Or you could put speed varies each time or something like that. The duration is how long is the ride? Again, sometimes that varies, so it's not always listed. And the thrill rating, I think Silver Dollar City does give you an actual thrill rating. Yeah, it says like Thrill Trailblazer available. So it's a thrilling ride. So you could just kind of, if you know it doesn't give you a thrill rating, you could kind of decide if it's a high thrill ride, a low thrill ride, or kind of a medium thrill ride. and the height requirement to ride the roller coaster. For this, you should also have text animation with altered starts, and I'll kind of talk about that here in a minute. But one thing that is mentioned up here in the explanation is that you need to follow the 7x7 rule. It's kind of a guideline. You should have no more than 7 bullets on a slide and no more than 7 words per bullet. Sometimes you can have more than 7 bullets on a slide, but if that's the case, then you need to keep your words down. They don't have to be complete sentences in this class, and when you're doing a presentation, it normally doesn't need to be, but if a teacher requires it, then add complete sentences. So here on my keynote, I am not going to use complete sentences, and I'm going to use bullets. So I kind of have this big stat here where it says world's fastest, tallest, and steepest spinning roller coaster, and then I'm going to give some stats there. So after I press enter, I'm going to press tab. I didn't write like the speed is, the time traveler speed is 50.3. The time traveler's highest drop is. The time traveler's decline is. In my notes. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of talk about something else. So after I get this bullet, so after you hit 90-degree decline, you press enter, then shift tab. Shift tab pops it out, tab pops it in. So this is the information that I'm going to put on my slide, but in my notes and when I present, I'm going to elaborate on that information. So if you go to view, in my presenter notes here, this is what I would say about this ride. It's time to talk about my favorite ride at Silver Dollar City, the Time Traveler, whose facts will leave you spinning. Enter your journey on the world's fastest, tallest, and steepest spinning roller coaster with a top speed of 50.3 miles per hour and a 100 feet or 10-story drop at a 90-degree decline. Okay, now I don't want all of this information to be sitting on my screen when I'm talking, so I'm going to go ahead and add some animation. So this is our animation with altered starts. So I have to click what it is that I want to animate first, and that's this text box. Click on this button where it says animate, add an effect, and I'm just going to have it appear. Now, right now it's all going to appear at once, and there is a time and a place for that. But I want it to come in by, so I'm going to choose by group. So that first level bullet and all of its second level bullets will come in together. Then the next group of bullets will come in. Then that last first level bullet would come in together like this. So that I would talk about the first sets of bullets first in my notes, then click, and this would appear. Okay, so also what I want to happen is I want this picture to come in when I start talking about the ride. I'm going to have, so build in is how it would come in, and action would be something that it would just do, like spin or get bigger, and then build out is it would go away. Okay, so I'm going to click on add effect. I'm also just going to have it appear. Now, right now it's fourth in line. There we go. So it says build order. So when I click that, this animation pane pops up. And if you can remember in 6th grade computers, that's what happens here too. Like you don't see this animation pane until you click view animation pane. All right. So I want the image to come in when I start talking about how it's the world's fastest and tallest ride. And I'm going to click on that. Where it says on start, I don't want to click and have world's fastest, tallest, then click again and have the picture come in, then click. I want it to just come in with that. So where it says image, I'm going to click that and choose with build 1. Now for some reason it linked my ride 3 with it, but I don't, my time stopping features, I don't want my build 3 to be with that. I want that to come in when I click. So I'm going to tell it to come in on click. Okay, so anytime you see it give a white number, then it's on click. Anytime you see it kind of gray, it's going to come in either with the one before it or right after it. Okay. So what I also don't want to happen is when I view my presentation, I don't want this box just sitting on my screen without the picture. So I'm going to click on my text box here, add an effect. Again, I'm just going to have it appear. I'm going to click on that and drag it. Okay, do you see how it gets the line? Like that's kind of how you can link it with something or make it come in at the same time. So see, now my blue line is in that gray box, so now it's with that. That's really technical, so if that's confusing to you, just check, and it should come in with build 1. Okay. It's kind of up to you how you want to do your bullets over here, but you do need to have a second level bullet. Remember, I got that by pressing Enter, Tab, and then I went from 90-degree decline, popped it back out to time stopping by hitting Enter, Shift, Tab. So once you have this stuff done on this slide, talked about the features. Here's your picture of your ride, and it goes to your ride's website, and then you've put the information and then typed up some notes. What you also might want to do is I always start a new line when I want to click my mouse. Sometimes what I used to do is maybe type a C before it so that I would remember mean by what I'm wanting for this slide. It's time to talk about my favorite ride at Silver Dollar City, the Time Traveler, whose facts will leave you spinning. Enter your journey on the world's fastest, tallest, and steepest spinning roller coaster with a top speed of 50.3 miles per hour and a 100 feet or 10-story drop at a 90-degree decline. You experience all of this while sitting in a 360-degree spinning chair, making your ride different every time. As if those stats weren't enough, the Time Traveler also has a dive loop, a vertical loop, a zero gravity roll, and in the ride you experience 2 launches. Hopefully that will help. One other thing I wanted to mention, guys, if at any point in time you wanted to edit any of this, so if you don't want your font to be white, you can select it and go over here to text, and you have all of these choices. You could also, if you wanted to change it for every slide, you could go to View, Edit Master Slides. And there you could, if this line is kind of getting in the way, you could edit that. You could change the look of the bullets for every slide, the font color for every slide, etc.